Welcome to this episode of Shoot of the Month, and this time we are shooting at one of the oldest buildings in Malaysia, the Heritage Station Hotel, and we are going to be photographing a couple of models with a brand new bridal design done by the Pretty in White team of Celeste and Stephanie. So guys, as I was getting ready for the shoot, you can see that there are a lot of pictures at the wall over there that showcase commercial shoots, bridal shoots that have been done in this building before. So my motivation is not just to come up with great pictures, my motivation is also to come away with pictures that perhaps have not been done before. We'll check it out and see what happens next. Guys, we are here with Celeste, who is the lead designer behind the Celestial collection that we are shooting today. So Celeste, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your inspiration in putting this collection together.
I had the inspiration from flowers because flowers has got many different texture, different layers, different folds, and it is so magnificent that I was really drawn to it, and I actually implied that to my designs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the fashion shoot that we're doing today, what was your idea and concept behind it? Do you have anything that inspires you in particular?
When we came to this place, it's full of old world charm, and then I see that the style can be very vintage looking, and we have a very gorgeous model who suits this style. So I've done up a very smoky eyes for her.
Smoky eyes.
Smoky eyes, very sexy eyes, and the hair. This thing is called a fascinator. And it was very popular back then, and then now the style has come back.
Okay.
So I think the overall look is very timeless and very classic.
It's a very classical look.
Yes.
Okay, we'll try to not to disappoint your makeup because you've done such a fantastic job, and I hope that the pictures will do you justice.
I'm sure it will.
Thank you. Thank you very much for helping us out
Thank
with
you.
this shoot.
Yeah, have a fantastic shoot.
We will. Thanks. The first location we're going to shoot today is on the rooftop of Heritage Station Hotel. And as you can see, we have a lot of things up here. We have lots of buildings near and far, a lot of structures all over the place. Now the key as a photographer is how do we make all this make sense in one single frame. Now obviously if you look that way, you can see constructions going on and the crane going on. Probably not my idea of a background, and if you look over here, you have a zinc top, and you have a mix of older architecture with newer architecture. But what I'm trying to do here is I want to distill it into one single frame, and that's very important for any photographer. It's our composition, the storytelling. Photography very often is about distilling the essence of what we're seeing and feeling into one single frame. So what I really feel and gravitates towards me today is actually the spires of this building. To me, the spire is really interesting. It's almost Middle Eastern, it's Islamic, and it symbolizes Malaysia. And I'll be interested to capture that in the picture. So I'll be using the spires for my background. So my idea is to somehow put Yvonne, our model, in the foreground. Now I'm just preempting that we're going to tackle we have a few issues that we need to tackle here. So the first issue I have to deal with is lighting. Lighting is always the first issue I have to deal with. So I'll be looking at positioning Yvonne somewhere here, but the thing is, with the light coming in at a 80-70 degree from above my head, she's going to be under shadow. So how are we going to solve that problem? You know, so I'm thinking that we need to bring in some sort of light coming in, maybe from camera right on this side towards Yvonne. And the second issue I have to deal with is we're shooting outdoor at 2:30 in the afternoon. Now, I always like to shoot with shallow depth of field, right? To create more separation between the foreground, the subject matter, and the background. Now, if I have to maintain the normal shutter speed of 250, and because that is where flash can sync at, the maximum that most flash can sync at, if I have to stick to 250, 1/250 of a second, I will have to be shooting at f10, f11, or maybe f16. Now, if I have to do that, then I won't get the shallow depth of field that I'm working for. So I am suspecting that we have to move into the high-speed auto high-speed sync territory, and we'll explain how we're going to work with that. But first of all, let's establish where we are shooting from and what kind of settings that we need to work with on the camera, shall we? Now the first thing I'm going to do is I will try to shoot to maintain my shutter speed at 250 because that is the maximum that most flashes can work at. Alright, so if I'm going to shoot at 250 of a second at ISO 100, I'm looking at f10. And you know what? I can't get shallow depth of field from that. So let's flip the coin around. Let's do f3.5 and see what kind of shutter speed that we have to work with. 1/1600 of a second. Alright, checking on the screen, we have shallow depth of field. So that's the good news. Now the issue that we have to deal with now is at 1/1600 of a second, I will have to make my flash to work on auto high speed sync. So let's talk about that very quickly as I set up the flash. Okay guys, I know that I'll be working with at auto high speed sync where the flash will fire at a very high speed, but in exchange for that at a reduced power. So my suspicion is that one single flash alone is probably not going to be enough to carry out the shot. So my suspicion is we need to use 3 flash. But just for experiment's sake, we're going to start with one single flash and see what kind of results we can get from there. Alright, at 1600 of a second, f3.6, we have perfect exposure. However, Yvonne is completely silhouetted as I anticipated. So we're going to introduce in the flash and see whether a single flash will be suffice to solve our problem. William, can you put the flash up please? Push it up. See there? Now, one single flash is okay, but I'm not really getting the results that I want. So I'm going to try to put in 2 flashes on the mounting so that we can share the load. Instead of one flash coming with all the power, we're going to put in 3 flashes so that all 3 units are working together to give me the right exposure. Yvonne, I need your eyes to be on the main light please. That's good, hold that. That's very nice. Really nice. I love that, Yvonne, that's beautiful. Turn your head more towards the light please. That's good, hold it there. Nice, that's amazing Yvonne. Can you bring your elbow closer together please? Yes, that's good. Oh, I love that, don't change your pose, hold it there. I need to squeeze a couple of shots Yvonne. Hold it there, don't change anything please. Okay, towards me, your eyes towards me a little bit more, that's great. Hold it. One more time. Amazing. As you can see from comparing the shot where we're using one single light source and using 3 flashes, the results are significantly better. Okay guys, we gotta head inside. This is way too cold. Hot, shall we? Let's go.